What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we are here with the updated tier list for 7 Sins Grand Cross as of the end of November. With the release of Tristan and the LR collection characters, we have to update the tier list for both PvP and PVE, guys. We did obviously update it last pretty much, or I guess it was kind of earlier this month. Actually, I did it around like the beginning of this month, but we did the update for pretty much October for what kind of came out in that month. And so what we're gonna be doing in today's video is taking, you know, all the info of the LR collection. We're gonna be ranking those characters, and then we rank Tristan, and yeah, we see exactly what these characters are all about, guys, in terms of where we're gonna be ranking them on the tier list. So if you guys do enjoy videos like this, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as we are on the road to that 55,000 subscribers. I definitely do appreciate the support on the channel, guys. With the 6.5 anniversary, you guys have been showing a ton of support, and I'm pumping out the videos as much as I'm able to do. So with that out of the way, man, let's hop in and let's start with the LR collection. I'm gonna go over all three of the LR collection heroes, as they pretty much are all very weak in terms of what they got under LR, and they're gonna be pretty quick to kind of, you know, talk about all three. So what we'll do is we'll go over all three of their kits, and then we'll rank all three accordingly. Alrighty, guys, so we're starting out here with the first LR of the bunch. We got the Holy Knight Hauser, the Red Hauser LR. Now, for his passive, the main thing that's changed is this went from 8% basic stats to now increases human ally base stats by 18%. And this is also a backline supportive effect, and this is just outright basic stats, so it is pretty good. And then again, it is a backline supportive effect, so you can just kind of rock this. But yeah, I mean, I won't say my opinions yet. Holy Relic, he's always had this, but increases the hero's pierce rate, crit chance, and crit damage by 4% for each orb in the hero's ultimate move gauge. Increases by an additional 20% if it's completely filled, and this is active when only on the battlefield, so, you know, bear that in mind. Now, for skills, the only thing that has changed for the skills, guys, is the percents have actually gone up. I don't know the original percents for both the skills, but it was, yeah, so Pierce AoE and then Sever AoE as well. And the only thing that really changed, again, is the percents. They did not add anything else to the skill effects. And then for the ultimate here, again, also just increased on the actual percent of the ultimate. So, yeah, that is going to be Holy Knight Hauser. Now, moving on to LR Guardian Guild Thunder. So, Guild Thunder here for his passive now, they have added increases all stats of the hero by 10%. And then increases resistance by 10% for each hero or each orb in the hero's ultimate move gauge, and increases by an additional 50% if it is completely filled. And this is active on the battlefield. It cannot be a backline support, so you have to actually run this. And then for his Holy Relic, if the hero's resistance, crit resistance, and crit defense, or increases it by 4% for each orb in the hero's ultimate move gauge, and increases by an additional 20% if it's completely filled. So pretty much the same Holy Relic that Hauser has, but, you know, more oriented to the defense role. And then this is active also when entering battle. Now for his skills, again, the only thing that's changed, guys, is the percent. So these percents have actually gone up. I don't know the exact amount of percents, again, that have actually increased, but you can see what it looks like after LR. So you can see here, also with the taunt as well, they have also increased as well. And then for the ultimate, again, guys, same thing. The percent on the ultimate has increased, so it's now 1,229%, which is pretty good. And then 1,405% with Rupture. So, yo, I mean, like, that is actually a fairly good amount of the increase with that. So, yeah, that is going to be Guardian Guild Thunder. And then the final LR, guys, which I actually don't have LR yet on my account, but it is going to be the LR Grimoire. Where is the LR Grimoire? Here we go. So we can actually see what he does after LR, though, if we click on his skills and the upgrades. So this actually does show us the upgraded stats as well. But you can see that all it really is the percents on the skill actually have increased. So if we click on each of the skills, you can see nothing else has really changed other than the fact that it has increased in terms of the effects. So that is going to be Grimoire's skill. And then his other skill is going to be the stance, which gives HP related stats and increases damage dealt. But yeah, I mean, again, nothing super crazy. This like, you know, it's just a percentage increases, guys, and this one's only the HP related of the stance, not even the damage though, so that stays at 75%. But then if you look at the ultimate here, you can see at 6 out of 6 has gone from 420 to 440% of defense related stats, which honestly isn't even that crazy as well. So, you know, there's that. And then for the passive here, guys, the only thing that's changed is that now increases all stats of the hero by 10%, and then he still has the effect where increases attack by the value equal to the 30% of the hero's defense at the start of the battle. So yeah, that is going to be Grimoire right there. And then he does also have a Holy Relic, again, very similar to the other you know, kind of Holy Knight characters. Increases the hero's regeneration rate, recovery rate, and life steal by 4% for each orb in the hero's ultimate move gauge, and increases by an additional 20% if it's completely filled. So yeah, you guys can see they all have their own gimmicks right there. Alrighty guys, so now that we've talked all the kits of the 3 LR collection heroes, let's talk about exactly where we're going to be ranking these characters. So let's start with PvP first, as I do think Hauser actually is the only viable PvP character, and by viable I mean as a CC backline support. So actually I'm going to put him in probably the A tier. Now if we're talking like backline supports in the game, you know, you have like Sigurd for humans, you have Jenna for humans. I don't know if I have Jenna in this here. Yeah, Jenna. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think like other humans here. Green Percival as well, I guess. So not too many good like human back. I mean, again, like Sigurd I think is pretty good. You know, who is the other one we had there? Jenna is solid as well. But I think like the nice thing about Hauser is it's just outright basic stats and you just get it, right? It's not like, you know, Sigurd where you need, oh, if you have this certain amount of humans, you get 5% per each. You just get 18% basic stats with Hauser, which is actually fairly nice. So because of that, I will give Hauser at least the A tier. He has fairly good CC as well after LR. So, you know, he has the CC increase, and then you're running him as a backline anyway. So 18% base stats is not anything to scoff at. But will you run him on field? Definitely not. You will never let this guy touch the field. Now for the LR Grimoire and Guild Thunder, if I gotta be honest, guys, they gotta go in the B tier, both of them. Now, they would be viable in PvP, but probably only Chaos Battle, because they would have really good CC on that, and maybe with their increased, you know, effects, they might do a little bit of damage. But again, not going to be anything crazy in PvP where I'm like, okay, these are going to be insanely good characters. Now, also, I just noticed Varghese got to go all the way up here, because when we talk about Tristan, that's something coming up. And then, who else we got down here? I think Pelagar could definitely go up to A tier as well. Yeah, okay. That looks good. That looks good. But yeah, so I do think overall, guys, for PvP, both the LR characters here, Grimoire and Guild Thunder, will just not be really cutting it. Hauser, at the very least, is going to be a backline support. So at the very least, you can run him as that, and that will be viable, right? So the fact that you can just kind of run him as backline, I think, is good enough. And yeah, you definitely can run the characters. So yeah, that is going to be the PvP side of things. Now let's talk about the PvE side of things. So in PvE, do you really need backline supportive effects? Not really, man. So I got Helbram in the C tier because of the fact that like he really doesn't have much content you use him in. He has a backline support just like Hauser, but I mean, what content are you really using this character in for his backline support? He's farming, right? He's like a farming unit, but we have so much better farming units in the game nowadays. You have like Melly Ellie is still a better farming unit. I have them in B tier. You know, you have like like LR Lost Vein. I think LR Lost Vein's a way better farming unit, honestly, if we're talking about, you know, LRs in general, right? So yeah, if I had to really rank it like that, I would actually probably just have, you know, some of the other LRs in higher tiers for sure. But yeah, I do think like Hauser, because of his backline support, is not too bad. Again, it is definitely like one of those things where it is viable, but like you're not really gonna rock that, right? It's like you have other options you can still rock, and you're probably not gonna rock that. Now Grimoire and Guild Thunder, they gotta go in probably not, honestly, not even C tier. I think they go in D tier in PvE. Like, am I ever gonna use these characters in PvE? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I won't. And honestly, now that I'm looking at it too, a lot of these characters here in like the C tier, I probably would move down too. But I mean, again, guys, it's one of those things where because you have so much characters in Grand Cross, they all can kind of fit in like a general niche. These characters right here, again, most of them are either backline supports or they have some type of gimmick or like, you know, basic stat buff or like something along those lines. Whereas like Guild Thunder and Grimoire, I don't even give them the benefit of the doubt here. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, I really don't give them the benefit of the doubt. And even for a character like, you know, Ghislaine here, I don't even have Ghislaine in like Z tier here, right? So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now on the LR collection, guys. I am a little bit disappointed with these characters. I hope that for future LR collections, the devs actually do give good stats to these characters. If they're going to cost 70 LR coins, that is something that I think they definitely should do and not overlook. But yeah, that is pretty much my mini rant on the LR collection heroes. Let's move on now, guys, to the main thing of this video, which is going to be UR Festival Tristan and where we're going to be ranking him. So let's hop into his kit and we'll talk about exactly what he's able to do. Alrighty, guys, so we have Knight of Prophecy Tristan here. Let's talk about exactly what this character is able to do and all of the stuff from his kit. So starting out with his passive effect right here, Prince of Light and Darkness, for each applicable ally participating in the battle, increases basic stats by 5% and all stats of the hero by 5% increase as well. applicable allies being Demons, Goddess, and 4 Knights of the Apocalypse. Now gains the Dawn's Blessing at the start of the battle. Dawn's Blessing is going to be basic stats plus 20%, and applicable allies damage taken depending on the dupe level, minus 50% at 4 to 6, let's say. Applicable allies damage taken from skills during the enemy's turn does not exceed 70% of max HP. And if the Dawn's Blessing and Shadow's Dominion are active on the hero, Twilight's Covenant is applied on the hero at the start of the ally's turn once. Twilight Covenant is going to be all stats 20%, damage dealt 90% at depending on the dupe level, fixes damage taken from skills during the enemy's turn to 1, and the effect is removed after taking damage. When dying, the hero revives with the same amount of HP they had before dying once. Dying with reflected damage does not result in a revival, but the resurrection count is still consumed. The unique ability activates first if there is another buff with the same effect, and then gains Twilight Covenant and resets the talent turn cooldown when using a skill that defeats an enemy. So yeah, I mean, as you guys can see from that passive right there, Tristan has a lot going on in his passive, a lot of stuff he's being able to provide for the team, and also just a lot of stuff he's able to do on his own. Obviously active on field, because this is a a DPS character, you're going to run him on field. So yeah, that is the passive right there. Now moving on to his talent, Radiance and Abyss. Gains Shadow's Dominion for 2 turns. Shadow's Dominion is going to be attack related stats plus 50%. Ignores 80% of the target's critical defense if the hero results in critical damage. And then the cooldown is going to be 3 turns. And again, you also do get Shadow's Dominion whenever you do kill an enemy, right? Whenever you do kill the enemy, you reproc, or I guess it's like Twilight Covenant technically, right? You reproc Twilight Covenant, and it resets the cooldown on the talent. So yeah, moving on to these skills now, we have Twinkling Star. Inflicts Dawn damage equal to 200% of attack on one enemy. Dawn is going to be 2 times critical chance increase, and additional damage equal to 30% of the hero's max HP. Damage dealt with skills 100% while Twilight Covenant is active, and his scaling is going to be 200, 300, and 500% of attack. Now moving on to his AoE skill, Enchant Hellbringer. It inflicts dust damage equal to 180% of attack on all enemies. That's going to be 5 times pierce rate increase, damage dealt plus 50% for each Dawn's Blessing and Shadow's Dominion. And it's going to scale from 180 to 70 and 390% of attack. And then moving on to his ultimate here, guys, depending on the dupe level, obviously, but he's going to remove buffs from all enemies, depending, again, on the dupe level. Gains Twilight Covenant and inflicts Dawn damage equal to 520% of attack on all enemies. And again, Dawn damage is the exact same as the single target, so it's giving you the crit chance, the additional damage dealt for the hero's max HP, and then when you have Twilight Covenant, you do more damage. So yeah, that is going to be the ultimate and the kit for Tristan right there. Alrighty guys, now where are we going to be ranking Tristan on the tier list for both PvP and PvE? Now in terms of PvE content, guys, I think it's a no-brainer that we put Tristan in the A tier. Now the reason why he does not go into the S tier, like we have Green tier, we have Thor, and then we do have Elder Liz, is because of the fact that this character will not be able to be run on the floors of Bird and Deer, because of the fact that he just does not have the skills required, or he is not, a Ragnarok character. So right now, because of that, it does hold him back from being usable in all in-game content. But again, guys, it's one of those things where I always say King and Diane is an S tier PvE unit, but it's not on the level of them because of the fact that she is not usable in floor 4 of Bird and Deer, which is also technically endgame content. Now, Tristan, on the other hand, is also still not able to be done on that, but I do see him as one of the best DPS, one of the best ones. He's very, very good in terms of, like, all the other demonic beasts. If we're talking, like, even Demon King Battle, bro still does well, even though he's a goddess character. You would think as a goddess, he would take way more damage. He's not good on that, but honestly, guys, like, again, I could see the argument of just doing this. Right, I could definitely see the argument there. If there's any other character here I'd put up there, I would. But honestly, it's one of those things where, like, it really depends on how much you value endgame content in Grand Cross. I personally do value floors 4 of both Bird and Deer, which is why I don't have them in that top tier. And you might be wondering, like, why is Elder Liz in that top tier then? Because she is a must run on teams that you are running her on. Whereas, like, Tristan is like a flex DPS option. Same with King and Diane, where she's a flex DPS option, right? Whereas, like, Elder Liz is a must run, right? So with that being said, this is where I would have it. But again, I could see the argument for this, and I would not be opposed to this, guy. So if you want to say that they're S tier for PvE, go for it. Again, it depends on how much you value endgame content in general. So moving on to the PvP side of the game, though, guys, I don't know what I need to say, but Tristan's broken, right? Like, he is really good on Goddess team. So if we move the Goddess characters here, he's very good on 4 Knights of Apocalypse team, which includes Lancelot. So what I actually am going to do here is drop down. I'm going to move probably some of the Konosuba characters here. I'm going to move you. I'm going to leave Darkness because Human with Darkness is pretty good still. I am also going to move probably Giants down too. Because the thing is with Giants is like, yeah, they're a good team, but I think Ragnarok as a team is better for Scald. And you have UR Thorn, you have like Hell, right? So actually, I will go ahead and move Giants down. But I do, again, guys, I say Giants are still a very, very good team, right? So I'm going to move some of the Giants down. But I would say, again, like, you know, King and Diane here, if you're running them on a Giant variant team, they will do very, very well. Now, Tristan, I think, is just so strong right now with the teams that he has. So, again, like, we got to move Lancelot up. So, Lancelot, we got Nasians. Where's Nasians? He's up here. Nasians is already there. We definitely got Light Percival up there as well. He's a viable Four Knights of Apocalypse character. Yeah, and then obviously the Demon team. Like, we have the Demon team already here. So, yeah, no, like, Tristan, guys, is, in my opinion, the best PvP character. The best DPS right now in the game. He is absolutely insane, okay? So that means he pretty much covers, like, every team that you run him on. He will be very dominant, and he's on 3 of the best teams in the game, which is Goddess, Four Knights of Apocalypse, and Demons, right? So those 3 teams being as good as they are, and you have them as a flex option on each of them, in my opinion, is just why I would have this character in the S tier, and he's just that insane, right? So again, I do see value in, again, like, Ragnarok teams, so like Hell, Baldur, Thor, right? Like these are viable team strategies. Right, and you have like Nanashi backline. I think Nanashi, for like a backline team like this, like I still think this team is still able to deal with Tristan variant teams, but Tristan himself, he's just that strong in my opinion, where I think I would actually put him above a character like Skald, even though I do see Skald being still arguably one of the best PvP characters in the game. Right, so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I would say though overall, guys. Again, you guys would have to let me know in the comments below. Do you guys think it is deserving for, you know, Giants to fall down a little bit? Again, I think I will actually move down, you know, some of the humans here though as well. Like Yua can probably drop down now as well. Fraudrin again is more of like a cheese alt strat character, so I will actually drop down a few of those characters because I feel like I do want to keep S tier to be very small in terms of the amount of teams that are available. So right now in S tier we only got Ragnarok. You got, obviously, like, King and Diana, I will keep there just for how strong they are. And then, yeah, you have, like, Demons, you have Goddess, you have, like, Four Knights of Apocalypse, and then, yeah, I mean, like, those are the teams, right? Tristan probably would go down to, like, A tier, I guess, because you can still run him with, like, these 3. But, like, the new Tristan's obviously better, so I will probably bump him down. But, yeah, I mean, overall, like, this would be where I got it. And I would keep probably Darkness here, too, because of how strong she is on Human Team as just, like, the best, like, taunt unit in the game. So there you guys go, man. That is going to be that right there for the PvP and PvE tier list as of the end of November. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys, of the rankings here for the Tristan and the LR collection heroes. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.